Hi there, Frances here from Morn Antiques. It's such a lovely April day. I thought I would do my wee talk outside, and it's about the difference between a fake and a copy. And I was thinking about an easy way of describing it, and Mary Quant came into my head from the 1960s when she came up with the miniskirt. It became very popular, everybody wanted to make them, and they did. But if somebody put on a Mary Quant label onto a miniskirt that she hadn't made, then that would be a fake. So that sort of simplifies the idea between a copy and a fake. Another thing is, say in the 1990s, and it was the first time I came across it, I suppose, were all these copies of old English antiques that came in from the Far East. And I don't think they were meant to deceive. But if somebody here then decided to sell that as an original, then that would turn it into a fake. So it's all about intention and the intention to deceive. Now, we're not really going to be bothered too much about that because nobody is going to spend loads of time making something to be a fake if it's not going to be worth their while. So, of course, you would immediately think of something like a Van Gogh painting or something, which I'm not in the position to buy, I'm afraid. But if you were, you'd have to be doing your research very well, looking into the provenance, where it came from, etc. But generally speaking, we're not going to be too affected by it. And I'd like to show you a few pieces of my collection when I'm here. And it is Wedgwood Lustre, which I've always liked, and I want to show you a few examples because lustre means that they have added in some metals into the glaze to create this very high firing, very rich colours, absolutely spectacular. It'd be difficult to get that now without being in a lustre. That's a very nice wee piece of Wedgwood Lustre. I have even a smaller piece here that I do love. It's got little fishes swimming around a blue sea, very delicate inside. So these became popular, and other factories made lustre pieces as well. Now I've got one here by Crown Devon. Now the difference between these are copies, or they're copying the style of and in the fashion of, but they've got their own names on it, so they weren't ever meant to deceive. These are just a copy of a style. But I did want to show you the beautiful colours, and look at that inside, the geckos or whatever they are running around the bowl. Gorgeous colours. My other example here was made by Worcester. I've never seen a Worcester lustre piece before, and I love the shape of that. Now these are all from about 100 years ago, believe it or not, so well ahead of their time, I think, in design. Now they've chosen just one colour to put in, but then look at the lovely gilding that they have put in after the firing. You can feel that, lovely quality. So that brings me to me spilling the beans on my boo-boo buy on the internet, which I promised I'd tell you about, and this is it. So I got caught up with the idea of finding a piece of Wedgwood Fairyland lustre, very hard to get, and I saw this at the last minute before the auction ended on eBay. Instantly regretted it, because look at this, the blue in that there hasn't got the right lustre in it at all. The other giveaway is the paintwork on it. See those fairies on there? Quite crude in comparison. If you didn't know what it was, it's actually a nice piece, that. But now that's got a Wedgwood mark on it. It's not a piece of Fairyland lustre to my mind, so that is a fake. Now I am lucky enough to have one piece of Fairyland lustre, and I just want to show you the difference in the paintwork of that, the figures on it, the life in it, colours, stunning. This was designed by Daisy McCaig Jones in about 1915, and I'm lucky to have it, and I would like some more. But in the meantime, I want to show you the very first piece of lustre I ever bought, which is this thing. Bought in 40 years ago when my mother started more in antiques. It was called Diamond Curios in Lifford in those days, and I have used this all that time. Every time somebody gave me a bunch of flowers, it went in there, which has meant that there is some wear on it, so it's not worth as much as it could be, but I have enjoyed that so much over the years. And your collection can be worth money. It can be an investment, particularly now the banks aren't giving any interest on your money, so you might as well put it into something that you love. And I do suggest, even if it's something that you're wearing, a diamond, or something that you're using or that you're hanging on the wall and admiring, make sure you enjoy it and you love it, because that's what a collection is all about in my mind. So next week I'm going to talk about gold jewellery, and I hope you can make it, and thanks very much.